Hello everyone, welcome back to MT Tech. It's nice to have you all back. So in today's video, I will show you how to install the certification authority. And this is the part 2 of certification series. And if you want to watch the part 1 of this video, I will leave the description of that video at the bottom of this video. So this is my certification authority server. And what I did in this server, I just joined this computer under the domain. And my domain is mttech.live. And I changed the name of this computer certificate A. And I assigned an IP address as well for this computer, which is 192.168.1.4. And let me ping my domain. My domain IP address is 192.168.1.10. And let's check the adapter of this machine. So this is the adapter of this machine. And here you can see that 192.168.1.10 is my default gateway, and the DNS server, which is my domain server, is 192.168.1.10. So let's begin installing the certification authority from manage, add rules and features. Next, and I will choose this machine as my certificate authority server and mttech.live. So I will choose the Active Directory, certificate services, then next, and next. So I will choose from here the role services. For the purpose of this video, I will choose two options, two role services. First, the certification authority, which converts this computer as the certificate authority server, and I will choose as well the certification authority web enrollment, which is the clients to request a certificate from the server through the web page. So first, certification authority and certification authority web enrollment. If you want more information about the rest of these roles and services, you can check the description of check the first video of this series, and I will leave the description of that video at the bottom of this video. So I will next, and you will choose nothing here. Then I will take the restart the destination server automatically if required. If it's required, so the computer will get started. If it's not required, the computer will remain unstarted. So then I will press install. Then at this portion of the installation process, I will pause the video and I will return back to the recording once the installation is completed. So here the installation is completed, and I have here a notification at the title bar of the server manager. So I can configure the certificate authority from here as well by pressing configure Active Directory certificate services, and I can configure the certificate services from here as well. So I will choose here and I will close here, then next, then these two options, and as I selected and installed. So the first one is I want to convert this PC as a certification authority, which is very important. And the second option, certification authority web enrollment, it's for the clients to request a certificate through the web page. And if you want to have more information about all these role services, you can check the first video of this series, and I will leave the description of that video at the bottom of this video. So these two services are ticked. Then next, in here I have the enterprise CA and standalone CA. So once again, I recommend you watching the first part of this video, and for the purpose of this video I will choose the first option, enterprise CA, because it's a domain giant computer. So the first option will be the best option for the uh, configuration of this computer. Next, and it's a root CA, so I will choose the root CA because it's the main certification authority server, so I'll choose the root CA. It's the boss. Then create a new private key. From here, if you have an existing private key, you will choose the second option, but I don't have any existing private key, so I will choose the first option, provide a new private key. In here, I will choose the highest one, 1496, and here the hash algorithm will be SHA SHA-256, and this is the common name for the certificate authority, which is this computer, and is distinguished name suffix and the preview of distinguished name services named. And you can change the common name as well from here, so I will leave everything as it is. It's okay, override it. And the validity of this uh, certificate generated for the certification authority is 5 years. You can change 5 years to 10 years as you wish. And this is the database location and the log location. Next, then configure. So everything was perfect. The certification authority has been configured, and the certification authority WIP enrollment has been configured successfully. Then close. So here is the ADCS, and let's open our certification authority from here. And here is my certification authority. Empty text certificate ACA, and the certificate, none of the certificates are revoked, and certificate has not been issued. There is no pending certificate, there is no failed certificate, and here is our templates. So let's publish a revoke certificate if we have. Okay, and let's, here we have the templates, and you can build your own templates, the duplicate templates from here. So guys, let's create first a template. We will come to the certificate templates, right click, then manage. So here I have more predefined templates. So I will choose computer to issue certificates for the domain giant computer. So here is computer, and I will right click and duplicate this template because these templates are original, and we want to manipulate these templates and create a duplicate from the templates, then manipulate them. So first I'll create a duplicate from the template, and I will name it empty tech computers, Then here I can give the validity period of the certificate. For now, as its default for 1 year and 6 weeks for the renewal. You can change this to 6 days as you wish. So for the security, I will choose the domain computers and I will select the enroll and I will select read. Then choose apply and OK. A duplicate of the template is created and it has been also manipulated for use. So I will close here. Then I will issue the duplicated templates. So these are the templates and I will choose the template that I created. So it's right here. I will find it here, empty tech come, then OK. So this template is available to be issued to the client's computer. Let's go back to the client's computer. I have uh, Windows 7. So I will find MMC, then I will run it as an administrator, and my administrator is administrator at mttech.live. Then here I will enter my password and the MMC is open. So I will come to the file and add remove snap-in, then I will choose certificate and I want to add. So I want to issue certificates for the computers manually. So I will choose from here computer account, then next, then local computer means this computer, then I will finish it. Then okay. So for now, in my personal, there is no certificate. Let me enlarge it for you guys. So I want to issue a certificate for this computer because it's a domain joined computer and I want to request a certificate from here. Then request new certificate. Next. Then Active Directory enrollment policy. Then next. That duplicate of the certificate should be appeared here. So let's wait for a couple of seconds to detect that certificate. So here is that certificate mttech.com and I will select it, then enroll. Now if everything is correct, here the certificate is issued to this computer, then finish. So here you can see a certificate and the name of this computer is bdd.mttech.live and it's issued from this authority, which is certificate A authority, invalid from 3rd for 2026 to 2027. And here is the details for the certificate and the serial number of the certificate. Everything is here, all the information you need. So here we have the certificate pad. This is the certificate authority and this is the computer, which is here Windows 7, and a certificate is issued from the certificate authority to this computer. Then okay. So let's go back to the certificate authority to check if this certificate has been issued to this computer. So my certificate authority is here, and when I come to the issued certificates, you can see certificate number 5 and it's issued to BDD, which is computer client's computer. And here is the details of the certificate, and everything is looking perfect. And here is the serial number, and here is the certificate effective date. So let's issue another certificate for Windows 8. So guys, here is my Windows 8 machine, and I want to sign in as an administrator, which is here. And let me enter the credentials of administrator. So guys, here I've got two commands. The first one is certlm.msc, and the second one is certmgr.msc. So the difference between these two commands, which we enter always in run section. So LM stands for the local machine. If you want to request a certificate for the local machine, then you will enter this command. And if you want to request a certificate for the user, then you will enter mgr.msc. So as we want to request a certificate for this client's machine, which is nothing but Windows 8, then we have to enter certlm local machine.msc. So certlm.msc. So here we have the certificate for local computer, which is a local machine. Issue a certificate here. Let me delete the old certificates, and let's request a new certificate. So let's wait for a couple of seconds to send a request to the certificate authority server and to pick the templates that we created. So here is the template that we created, empty tech computer. So let's enroll it. Then finish. So let's see, here you can see certificate information. This certificate cannot be verified up to a trusted certification authority. So it means that we should have a certificate from the certification authority to be trusted in this computer in order to request a certificate. So let's solve this problem. Let's go back here. You can see there is a cross sign here, empty text certificate. So the certificate of the empty text certificate A hasn't been trusted in this computer. So let's have a copy of that certificate from the certificate authority and keep it here as trusted. Then we can be able to request a certificate. So let's go back to the certificate server here. And here we have issued certificates. So here is our certificate authority, and let's see the issued certificate, and I will choose one of the certificates here. Then I will see the certificate path, and this is the main certificate for this certificates authority. And I will view the certificate, then I will copy this to a file. Copy, next, next, and I'll browse this to the desktop, and I'll name this certificate as empty tech authority and I will save it. Then next, then finish. This certificate has been saved. So let's copy this certificate and let's bring it to the Windows 8 machines, and let's paste it right here. So let's install this certificate into the local machine. Then next, and place this into a trusted root certification authority, which is right here. Then OK, then next, and finish. Now let's request a certificate once again from the certificate local machine. Let's delete this. The import was successful. So let's delete this certificate. Yes. And our trusted certificate should be right here. And so now let's request a certificate. Next. Let's wait for a couple of seconds. So let's choose our template, then enroll. So here a certificate has been issued, and this is a trusted certificate authority. And there is no warning sign here. So it means this certification authority has been recognized for this computer. So let's go back to the certificates authority server. Sorry. So here's my certificates authority server. And let's refresh this. In here you can see a certificate has been issued to this computer. So how to delete these certificates if you wish to? There is a command that you can apply it in PowerShell as well, in command prompt as well. So I will apply it in PowerShell, but be aware to run the PowerShell or command prompt as an administrator. Then let's enter the command cert utility. Then let me enter the row, delete row, and I want to delete request ID 12. So all you have to do, write it 12 cert utility hyphen delete row, then 12. So here you can see the command has been completed. But here row number 12 is not deleted. Whenever we refresh it, then you can see row number 12. And if you want to revoke a certificate, all you have to do, select the certificate, right click, then come to all tasks and then revoke the certificate. And you should give the reason for the revocation of the certificate as well, like cease of operation, and here's the date and here's the time. Now the certificate has been revoked. In the revoked certificate, you can see right here, and you can delete it as well from here by applying the following command and just give the request ID here, then enter, and the command has been applied. So once you refresh from here, you don't see any certificates here. And how can we delete the certificate from the client's machine? All you have to do, come to the certificate personal and right click, and from here choose the delete. Yes, the certificate is gone. So it's all about the requesting a certificate and issuing a certificate and deletion of the certificate and certificates authorities main certificate installation in client's computer in order to be a trusted root certification authority are all discussed in this video. I hope you learned something, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more videos. Have a wonderful time. Bye.